Hi, Scott Whitley here, hope you're doing well. In this lesson, I'm going to teach you why you should be soloing all the time. Alright, let's get to it and let me show you why you should be soloing all the time. Okay, it's kind of a ridiculous statement to make and a slightly provocative one. I don't exactly mean what I say. I don't mean you should literally be soloing every time you go and do a gig and a recording and all the rest of it. But there is some method in my madness, and I'm going to get to that in a minute. Let me kind of give you the background here, right? A lot of the students that come to me for private tuition are usually pretty proficient bass players already. And what they want from me is they want to learn how to improvise and play, you know, improvise fills and runs and tasty lines and stuff like that, tasteful lines, just off the cuff. Now the thing is, playing regular bass lines in a tune, right? You're not presented with the opportunity to play these fills and lines that often. I mean, you know, it might be every 16 bars in a tune, every 8 bars or whatever. But for the chunk of the gig that you're doing, or the recording you're doing, or the song, whatever it is you're playing, you're likely to be playing, you know, if it's rock, you know, kind of holding down. You know, if it's funk, maybe like. Now, ironically, that is lending itself to playing fills. If you're walking, you know, you're kind of tied to that. You can walk all over the place. You can, you know, put your little bits and pieces in. But that's what they are. The little bits and pieces in between a kind of functional, it's a terrible term, but I'm going to use it, a functional bass part, you know. So you kind of like being a drummer to a degree. You know, it's almost that kind of thing. Whereas if you, in most styles of music, really, if you just kind of decide, I'm just not going to, I'm just going to sit here and wait for inspiration, and you know, there's going to be nothing left. Okay. So now the reverse of that is if you're you know, an instrument like a sax player, for instance, or you play a recorder, maybe, really common choice these days in pop music, then you know, you've got the luxury in a lot of stuff. Obviously, if you're playing in a big band and you're reading like a million notes a minute or whatever, different story. But if you just kind of like jamming, if you just like rocking up at a, you know, and it's not your turn to solo, chances are it's going to be best if you just play tasteful, decorative lines here and there, you know, and that's quite a luxury in a way. I'm going to use that word. I hope that's not disrespectful to sax players, but you know, you often see a lot of sax players with their hands in their pocket, just kind of chilling, waiting for a bit of inspiration or a hole in the music, and then they'll just blow, and they can consider the line they're going to play and all the rest of it. But when they do play, there's no bull. I mean, they mean that line. You know, they're almost singing it in their head before they play it, right? So that's what I'm talking about, is giving yourself that opportunity in your own practice time to be and do like a sax player bees and does, right? So, and I'm a big believer of practicing all aspects of bass playing, anything really, in this way. That, you know, if you can kind of like condense and concentrate the part of the music that you're trying to work on, the thing that you're struggling with, and do just that bit, and kind of like pare away the stuff that you're kind of already all right at, then you're going to shortcut yourself to where you want to be. Well, that's it. You're going to shortcut to where you want to be. So an example of this would be, now I wish I could just like play an existing song, and you know, just kind of noodle over it. But the problem is, because of copyright and all the rest of it, my video will get pulled down. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just try and put a little loop together, kind of simulating or synthesizing, playing along with a CD or an MP3. Because as I say, if you use an original, it'll get pulled down. So here we go. This is using my Zoom B1 ON, by the way, B1 on, which is a great little unit. It's got a looper in it. It's what I use for all my teaching and for these lessons, actually. I'm DI'd straight through that, and if you're interested in getting one yourself, I'll put the link in the description below. So here we go. I'm going to choose disco. Like I said, this is all on the B1, and loop. This is going to be difficult because I'm doing it with my hand. Let me see if I can do this. I'll set the loop up first. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Should be a little loop now, and then I'll put a bass line down. A little bit of rhythm guitar. Alright, that'll do. Kind of like a record, you know, kind of like a track. And so what I would do, in my practice time, is just put something like this on, and then just go to sleep. And then just, just try and play stuff, you know. You can just leave one note, and nobody dies, you know. The thing still keeps going. I can just do a little dance if I wanted, you know. It's all good. So you've got this luxury to not play a million notes at once, you know. nonsense. Right, okay. So that's what I'm talking about, right? It's not bass playing in its kind of traditional, whatever that is, as if there even is traditional as far as bass goes. But yeah, it's not like bass playing as you probably normally do it. And the cool thing about that is you can just try, you can make mistakes. Let me do that again and like make even more mistakes, right? Here we go. See if we can get that loop back. You know, so I was playing a bunch of stuff and I kind of knew a bit what I was doing, but let me pretend I've never done it before. And I might do. I'm going to make mistakes. Here we go. You know. So what you can do is try that again. See if you can find a better note. You know. Maybe I'll try another note. See what happens. That sounded all right. All right. So that is just a tiny little example of how you can just play along, even if you don't really know that much about what you're doing. Just use your ears as a guide. Just try stuff, and if it sounds good, what's that? And maybe stop for a minute and or at least look at what note you were playing over what chord of the song, and just kind of try and bank that as a thing. Maybe just play that. If once you get something like that you like, just play it over and over again for like 10 minutes or something, you know. You know, just really lock that in. I mean, I'm talking here obviously to you guys. You might be at all kinds of different levels. Some of you may know loads of theory, but you're not sure how to kind of apply it on the spot, you know. This is a great way of doing that. So going back to my original statement of soloing all the time, what I'm talking about is all the time during a piece, okay? So in your practice time, from bar one to the last part of the song, all the time you're thinking like a soloist, all right? And that ability to kind of ease up on the kind of, but I've got to keep this bass line going all the time thing will stretch you in other ways in your playing. And like I say, that will undoubtedly eventually shine through in, you just kind of regular fill and lick playing. So this has been a kind of short and sweet lesson. And I'm aware that I've not really shown you anything specific. It's more of a concept thing, and this kind of principle it applies to kind of anything difficult that you're trying to nail on the bass guitar. When I was learning to play slap bass, the songs that I knew, a lot of the songs that I knew were things like Beatles songs and things like that, because I was playing in a 60s band at the time. So I'd like sit in my own practice time and play along with all these Beatles things, you think you've lost your love. just nuts, like really like inappropriate stuff. It just doesn't matter. All I was trying to do was get the chops together in my own practice time. I would also practice playing that song, as near as damn it I could, like that kind of. Obviously, I'm not sure of exactly Macca's line, but you get what I mean. I would play that and try and sound like I was on the record as well in other parts of my practice regime, but just to get this technique together, rather than just kind of sit there and spend 10 minutes going, just in the key of E, and that was it. I thought to be able to apply this stuff over chords and songs, if I just kind of just do it all the time during a song in practice time, then later on down the line, if I'm playing a song and I just want to pull out a little slap lick or something, or if I'm put on the spot and this is in the key of E, play me a slap bass line, I can pull something out of the hat, you know. So obviously this has been more of a concept kind of lesson than me showing you anything specific on the instrument. But I really hope it inspires you to give it a go. And do let me know what you think in the comments below. Just a few things to mention quickly before my lights run out, the battery powered and they're going fast. Is I've got episode 3 of my new vlog series coming out hopefully in a few days. A lot of people have asked me about short scale bass merch. You know, they like the kind of t-shirts, and I've got mugs and that sort of stuff. So I'm going to start. I'm going to start producing that stuff pretty soon. So if you're interested in maybe a t-shirt or a mug, I'm also going to do SW ones as well, which kind of go nicely if you're an SWB1 player. That might be a cool thing, cool addition to your studio or you. So yeah, give me a shout on that. If there's any questions you got, please leave them in the comments below. Any suggestions for lessons you'd like me to do in the future. And thanks again for stopping by. See you in the next video.